Welcome to another special documentary brought to you by Soul Productions. We've been called back to the Easy Horse Care Rescue Centre, this time to cover the Faith Appeal. Faith is a very small pony with a very big heart. Now she's about to undergo a life-changing operation, and a groundbreaking one at that. Today, Faith will be embarking on her journey to Barcelona to see her vet, Gasper, who's going to undertake the amputation operation. And then she'll be having a prosthesis fitted. Now this operation has been performed once before in America. And Molly the pony, who had the operation, has now become an inspiration to hundreds of thousands. Can Faith do the same?
This is Faith's story. Injured, tethered by ropes, and left unattended. The rope cut off the blood supply to the lower leg, and the flesh fell off. Faith's vet, Dorothea, visits every evening to put cream on Faith. That has come from her own blood that has been subjected to stem cell treatment. The good blood cells are harvested and used to try and heal the horrendous infection. As this is pioneering and groundbreaking work, huge resources are being put into this to keep Faith.
Faith's been with us for 7 months. She came to us August of last year. Nothing really prepared us for the sight of what we saw when she turned up, to actually see a complete horse's leg exposed, the cannon bone, the joints, the tendons. It was basically like looking at a model of a horse opened up with all the skeletal structure exposed. It was absolutely horrific. Dorothea, our vet, also was amazed. She actually said she never thought that she would work on a live horse standing and actually looking at all those parts of the horse's leg. When Faith came to us, we all decided that we were determined to do something to save this little horse. Dorothea, our vet, consulted Gasper, who's a surgeon that we work with in Barcelona. And in the early days, we realised that the problem actually would be, the long-term problem would be the fact that the bone, if it was exposed to air for too long, would get a bone disease, and then effectively the bone dies. Armed with the knowledge, we tried at first to seal the leg with a plaster cast for between 11 and 14 days, and also give her very, very strong antibiotics, which would obviously control the infection within the plaster cast. The idea worked, but the problem was, because the pony was so malnutritioned and basically her digestive system was so low in the flora and all the good bacteria that a horse needs to have a healthy gut system, it couldn't handle the level of antibiotics that were needed to control the infection. So we ended up rushing her to the Alicante Horse Hospital because she came down really, really ill with colic. And in doing so, we realised that the best way wasn't the way that would work for Faith. So we got the horse back 3 or 4 days later, and we then decided that the only way to do it would be to encase her leg every day in a plaster cast, which we done, and also try stem cell treatment, which is a treatment that obviously is quite groundbreaking. It's very, very new in human fields, animal fields, etc. But we did actually try it. And Dorothea, our vet, would come every morning and take blood from Faith, take it away and extract the healing cells from this blood, put it into a cream that she would then come back the night time, cut the plaster cast off, remove all the bandaging, clean the wound with saline, and then apply the cream with the stem cells. Now this, in the early days, was a great success, and it really was quite incredible how this wound was healing up. Basically, every night Dorothea has been coming to do the same procedure, though obviously now she doesn't do the stem cell treatment. The plaster cast is cut off, all the bandages are removed, the wound is cleaned with saline solution, needles are put in to flush out the infection everywhere. The wound is then checked for any signs of infection. It's then all sealed up with fresh bandaging and another plaster cast is put on. Now this procedure has happened for 7 months, whether it was Christmas night, New Year's Eve, rain, shine or whatever. Dorothea turns up here at the centre. It can be any time between 6:30 to 9:30 at night. But again, Dorothea's determination and patience really is also what has kept Faith going this long. The trouble is now it has taken too long to heal up because the bone has been exposed to air for too long. We discovered about a month ago that the bone was showing signs of disease. This was noticed by Dorothea because of discoloration on the actual bone. It actually started to get like yellow spots on the bone. So we then done extensive x-rays all around the bone, different areas, to actually determine the extent of the bone disease. But unfortunately, the disease now has actually took over the whole bone internally as well as externally. So really, you have a horse standing there with a section of the bone that effectively is dead. Now, bone disease for a horse, a dog, a person is very, very painful, and obviously it's not acceptable that an animal lives in pain. We did also consider titanium rods actually put in to support the joint, but again that wouldn't have been it wouldn't have worked, quite simply because of the level of bone disease, and again it would have been painful for her. So really we had two choices. It was either put her to sleep or amputation. So really the only option we had was amputation, or is amputation. So really now the story actually goes back to an email that somebody sent us about a little pony called Molly in Louisiana. I was sent this email about 1.5 years ago. We looked at it and it was a picture of a little miniature horse standing there with a prosthetic limb, an artificial leg. We kept it for a while and we showed lots of people. And you know, like you do, it was nice to see, and the fact that the little horse had survived, and obviously then in the mists of time we forgot about her. But suddenly I remembered this picture of Molly. And we looked Molly up on the internet. And there she was, mollythepony.com. Any of you can go on there and see all about Molly's story. And quite simply, Molly was a victim of Hurricane Katrina 5 years ago. This little horse, she survived Hurricane Katrina, and she was then savaged by a pit bull terrier. Now, her owner Kay, again, was a very determined person, probably a little bit like myself, with Faith, and she was determined that she would save this horse. She got in contact with a surgeon called Rustin Moore. There's a clinic in Louisiana that specialises in groundbreaking equine treatment. Rustin agreed to have a look at Molly. Molly spent some time with him, and he realised that the horse would be suitable for this procedure, quite simply because Molly was a smart little pony. She was a survivor, she looked after herself, she knew she had a problem and she wanted help. Now, there's so many similarities between Molly and Faith. Faith is exactly the same. Faith is another smart little pony. She knows she's got a problem, but she also wants to live, and she cooperates with everything that we do to help her. And she's managed to survive on 3 legs for 7 years. The similarities really are quite extraordinary. It's the same leg, it's the same injury with the bone, and they're actually the same size pony. And really, the whole story then just grows. We contacted Molly's owner in Louisiana, and she got back to us, and she said she wanted to help in any way she could. Now, what actually has happened to Molly, this operation happened 5 years ago, and now Molly has become something of an icon in America, and they actually take Molly round to clinics institutes, etc., where people have cancer, are facing amputations, and she actually brings hope now to so many people. And she's actually quite a famous little pony. They've also written a book, Molly the Pony, a children's book. And what Kay is doing, on the bottom of Molly's artificial leg, there's a little smiley face, and she actually uses it as a stamp to autograph. So they're autographing a little book of Molly the Pony, and they're actually sending it here to the centre to raise money for our faith. Also, the surgeon Rustin Moore has contacted us. He now works with Gasper, our surgeon in Barcelona. Also, the guy that made the prosthetic limb for Molly has also contacted us, and he wants to help in any way that he can. Also, another surgeon that trained with Rustin Moore, that's actually now done 20 of these procedures in America, has also contacted us and Gasper and wants to help in any way that he can. And really also, I must just mention Gasper. Gasper, as you know, helped us with another special little mini horse that we have here called Cookie. And again, when we looked into the possibilities of amputation, we contacted Gasper. And we said, Gasper, we have this little horse. We're going to send you the x-rays. We feel the only way that she can be saved, as does Dorothea, our vet, is amputation. Do you think you can help us? He said, send me the x-rays, which we did. He got back to us. He said, I need 3 weeks to think about this and do research, and I will get back to you. He got back to us and he said, since I spoke to you, I cannot sleep. I cannot think of anything else but this. Yes, I will do this for you. However, this is a big undertaking. This is something that's never been done before in Spain. I need to research as much as I can before you bring her. So, armed now with the help and the information that he's got from the people in Louisiana that have all been involved with Molly's operation, Gasper is now ready to perform the surgery. So today is a very special day, and it's the start of the journey of Faith.
This was Faith's first stable when she arrived here on the 27th of August in 2010, some 7 months ago. And her vet Dorothea has been working tirelessly, like the whole team here at the Easy Horse Care Rescue Centre. They've even tried stem cell treatments, but unfortunately, as Sue said, it hasn't quite worked out, and now Faith has bone disease. So the next step is going to be the amputation operation. Well, Sue, Faith is now finally in the trailer. What a day. Emotional? How are you feeling?
I think all of us today have been very, very emotional, and it has been a very surreal day. Obviously, the inevitable has happened, which we knew it would, and she's finally on her way to Barcelona. Yes, we're all very, very sad to see her go. As you can obviously see from being here today. But realistically, we know that she couldn't stay any longer, quite simply because her joint would eventually have collapsed. And really, every day more that she stayed here would actually be a higher risk for her to travel in the horse trailer. So really, providing she survives the journey, It's a 7-hour trip, and hopefully she will lay down for at least part of the journey. She comes out the other end okay, then I'll be happy. When she actually gets to Barcelona and she's with Gasper, then I know everything will be fine.